How's it going? Yeah. I may require a little bit of interactivity. I'm not sure yet. We're never quite sure when I start speaking. They asked me to speak, and I said, as long as I can use the most pretentious picture possible. They were happy with that, so that's why I'm here. So yeah, they came to me and said, let's talk about creativity and innovation. And I said, well, I used to be a director of innovation, so that shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to talk about this creativity presentation. I've got it. I've done it a few times. It's mostly been to creative agencies, so probably people won't have seen it. It'll be really easy for me. I won't have to do any work. And they went, no. Really, we want a totally different presentation, brand new. You've got to go spend a bunch of time actually creating slides. But we want to talk about kind of this 10x thing. And I was like, well, that's a bummer, because it'd be really easy if I didn't have to do any work. We agreed to disagree, and so I've created this for you guys. When I started looking and thinking about innovation, Google has a fairly strong history of, I think, maybe innovating and doing different things. And so I started going back through the kind of annals of Google history. And the first thing I kind of looked upon was actually, innovation really kind of is baked into Google. In fact, we innovated our, first initial stock filing as well. And we've continued to do so. I mean, you probably anybody not heard of Alphabet? Yeah. That's the other problem I have. See, Jess was able to talk about all sorts of exciting things, but we have an amazing PR machine. So you've probably heard about a lot of the different things that I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to try and talk about some of the principles and stuff inside that as well. But I think being innovative, being different, is actually kind of one of the core beliefs and tenets of what and who we are at Google. And actually, we do not intend to be a conventional company, and I don't expect that they ever will be one. But it's quite a kind of strong mission statement at the same time. So as I said, I went back through and kind of started looking about what are the important, smart people at Google, people who make a lot more money than I do, and have degrees in things other than theater. What do they have to say about innovation at Google? So I found this quote from Jonathan Rosenberg. Now, Jonathan has these kind of 17 principles of innovation. And I said, that's really, really good. People are going to love it. I'll go through 17 principles. It will be 4 hours long, and it'll be an amazing presentation. But then I realized Jonathan had left the business, and maybe 17 might be a bit much. So that's OK. I found actually another person. So Marissa Mayer, who now runs Yahoo, also came up with some 9 principles of innovation. I thought, OK, 9's easier. I can definitely do 9. 9 seems a bit more like half an hour's worth of content. That shouldn't be a problem. But she's left the business as well, and so that seemed a bit kind of cheating. So then I found the 8 pillars of innovation. I was like, well, pillars are better than principles, right? And they're strong, and and actually it's even less than that. So that seemed a bit better. And actually, Susan Wojcicki still works at Google. She runs kind of CEO of YouTube. So that all seemed to kind of line up really, really well, and that makes sense to me. But then one of the new people on the team said, well, there's these actual things that we get when we start, which are kind of these Google handbook, and there's 16 DNA secrets. And I was like, oh, crap, I'm going the wrong way. And actually, these are all probably really true. I mean, these are the kind of things which, in many ways, are embedded in kind of the DNA of Google. And a lot of these things are things that I probably touch about, and I'll touch on some of these things. But nobody wants to hear me talk about 16 principles. There's not enough room in your paper, in your book, for me to do that. And actually, I can do probably more justice by kind of going back to what Tash asked me to do, which is really talk about Google X. So anybody heard, I'll go the other way again. Anybody not heard of Google X? Yeah. OK, so a few people. Fair enough. I'm sorry. I'll get the PR team on it. So Google X is kind of our innovation lab. And actually, I guess, technically speaking, it's probably Alphabet X now. They're innovating on their name right now, as we speak. But Google X is the place where kind of crazy batshit shit happens. Like, it's just mad stuff that comes out of it. Things that you look at and you think about and you go, honestly, this is one of the April Fool's jokes, isn't it? Because some of the stuff that just sounds absolutely astonishingly, amazingly weird and different. But it's also incredibly exciting. And so we've got this kind of crazy leader, a guy named Astro Teller. That's, I guess, technically his name, although I don't think he was born with the name Astro. In fact, I know he wasn't. But he runs the Google X labs. And he does an amazing job of kind of going around and evangelizing and talking about what they do. But he's also this incredibly, Renaissance thinker. He's got an Academy Award and also changing the world with technology every day. So I went back and looked through some of his presentations and found some stuff about moonshot thinking, which is actually where I probably should have started from in the beginning, because that's exactly